Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS podcast, produced by Terrier TV and sponsored by Edna Wilson with Celebrate Remax Aerospace. How's it going, guys? What's new and exciting? This setup is new and exciting.
Wait a minute, was that the whole? Did you do the whole name right?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you?
Edna Wilson with Celebrate Remax Aerospace.
I told you I made him flashcards.
There you go. Oh, that's very good.
I should have those stuck in the back of the TV.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then you go over them every night.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good.
You guys both look very fancy today.
Oh yes, we're doing that.
I think it's the blue and the green. You guys being right next to each other because I never get to see you guys. I usually have to look from one side to the other to see where you all are at, and everything's mashed together.
There.
Normally, somehow we end up every time wearing the same color, and I was a little disappointed in myself that we didn't today.
We didn't.
Wow.
No, that was Monday was the green. I was wearing the green Monday. I would have been there. Yeah.
I don't often see you in that color green.
No, and actually, I guess it's just not my Wednesday color because I have a lot of this color.
Okay.
Huh.
This color and blue and black. That's my entire wardrobe.
Really? It's all green? It's a third green?
No, it's like 75% blue.
Okay.
There you go.
20% black and 5% green.
I don't know that I even look at my clothes that way.
I own one white shirt, I think.
I got a lot of blues. I think I only have one white shirt too. Yeah.
I have a few pair of pants that fit me, a few shirts I like that I don't ever get rid of. I got some shirts that this is embarrassing to say it. I got some shirts that I wore in middle school that I still enjoy that were too big for me then that fit me perfect now.
Okay.
They're jam-up shirts, man.
There you go.
I can promise you nothing from middle school fits me now.
Yeah, it's a little bit short sometimes, but you just stretch it out as you go. You just stretch it and go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. What's anything else happening, guys?
No, we got our trivia team. We're working
That's
on
right.
that. We're working on trivia. Frank says he's ordered a costume.
Well, I did.
Am so proud.
I did what I promised I would do.
What'd you decide on?
Oh, exactly what we talked about.
I'm so proud.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in character the entire time, regardless of what it means. I'm telling you, I've been memorizing lines.
Is this going to be a problem for dinner?
Quite possibly.
No, I think it'd be okay for dinner, but going back and forth to the restroom and stuff should be interesting.
Okay, I don't want to know.
I don't think now that I know who you chose, because we talked about a few different things.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind, I'm going to be running a lot. Running.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm going to get up at random times and go, I'm running. I'm just going to run across the whole room like as fast as I can.
Okay.
And then I might yell it as I'm going, I'm running.
We sold out this year.
Yeah, that's what Bill was saying.
Yeah, we got the last table. Yeah. We got the last table. And she was trying to get us to take people that were
Really?
She was pushing me for the names hard.
She
was like, you've got to turn in your names. And so that's when we filled out the table, and so we're good. She'll stop bugging us.
Yeah, we got to replace that one person.
Right.
I'll have that done by the end of today. But we had somebody fall out last second. It was ended up being their anniversary week.
Decided their marriage was more important than our trivia.
Oh, come on.
It's a real thing.
What are they thinking about?
It's a real thing. But anyhow. All right, you guys ready to jump into our guest today?
Yes, please.
All right. So today on the podcast, we are joined by an old friend of mine, but he's not old. And that'd be like saying I was old.
You were thinking real hard there for a second about how you were going to say that.
Yeah, we were talking birds earlier, so I got lost in conversation on that. But it's mic checks goes interesting directions sometimes. So Jeffrey Talbert, oh my gosh, Jeffrey Michael Talbert. Yeah, so
I
went
there.
You asked him one question.
I know.
Do you want me to call you Jeff or Jeffrey?
I literally lost
question.
it. So once I said I had to go ahead and go all in. But yeah, so we're joined on the phone by Jeff Talbert, who is now working for the Atlanta Botanical. Oh my garage, Jeff, I'm losing it, bub. Man, Atlantic. Will somebody else help me out here?
Atlanta Botanical Gardens.
Thank you. That's 100% what I was saying.
Yeah.
Man, how's it going, Jeff? Good to talk to you, buddy.
It's great. It's great to talk to you guys too. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, buddy. It's a pleasure. So, I don't think up until, I guess I saw you at our 20-year reunion. A few years ago.
Old.
Yeah, no joke. It's crazy that even happened. But you've had this amazing journey of between college and where you're at now. So maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, it has. It's been a little bit of a ride, which is not a bad ride. But when I was in college, I was trying to be a football coach. I wanted to be a big college football coach, go to different schools and make tons of money and have people pay me to leave, basically. And yeah, I was at Florida State. I did my undergrad there, and I was an undergrad volunteer assistant for Bobby Bowden there for 5 years, and actually got close with the Bowden family, which was a really neat experience. And then I graduated and went to Weber International University down in Lake Wales, and it's this little NAIA school. Got my master's degree paid for, coached some football, and was ready to do all the next things. And I decided I needed a change. I needed to be outside. I wanted to tell people about Florida's amazing environment, and it's something that I had always been interested in growing up. So it was just a natural fit. My only regret is that I didn't take steps in college to get a degree in any of that stuff. But I got lucky. I got up here in the Panhandle and got a job with the Florida Park Service, which I figured was my best avenue to reach people and to be outside, not knowing that park rangers hardly paid anything, and you end up changing a lot of electrical outlets and campgrounds.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had a really good boss who recognized that I wanted to do other things, and he kind of gave me the leash to do that. And I was at Grayton Beach State Park for 4 years. Then I went over to Tops of the Hill Preserve State Park and did resource management over there, where I did a lot of prescribed burning and sea turtle work, shorebird work, all that kind of stuff. It was kind of a dream. And then we had this project going that got started up here to restore wetlands. And I had been involved in that when I was at Grayton, and I was looking to make a little bit of a change. And so I applied with the Atlanta Botanical Garden, and now I am heading up this grant, $8 million grant to restore wetlands here along the Panhandle, along the coast. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't really know how I got here, but I'm sure glad I'm here.
Wow.
I try to tell people sometimes what it's like doing, really doing something you love to do, because there's not many of us that really every day are doing something. I know the three of us, I think, are blessed that way, but the four of us rather. But there's not many people that literally go to work and love what they do. It's a pretty special feeling, isn't it?
It is really incredible, and I count myself lucky every single day. I mean, I never foresaw myself becoming what I call an accidental botanist, but here we are.
So tell us about the place you're working at there in Atlanta and what all they do.
So the Atlanta Botanical Garden is up in Midtown Atlanta, and it has a satellite garden up in Gainesville, Georgia, which gets confusing for us Florida folks sometimes. But I actually work for the Conservation and Research Department, and we do conservation projects all throughout the Southeast, a little bit in the Caribbean, Central America, a little bit in South America, and I think we have this Magnolia project that they're doing that's kind of worldwide. And I specifically, I'm a project coordinator here in Florida. I don't work in Atlanta. I only have to go up a couple times a year, maybe. But my job is strictly here on this one project in the Panhandle. It's at Deer Lake State Park down on the coast in Walton County. We're kind of just west of Panama City Beach.
Okay.
And yeah, there's our specific project. We have to restore 310 acres of wetlands around the globally rare and imperiled coastal dew lakes along our coast here.
So now I was reading about this, and that your park has a coastal lake, I guess a lake in the dunes. Tell me about that.
So it's a pretty rare phenomenon around the world, and they're only in a handful of places. And among the small amount of places that these lakes occur, the lakes here in Florida, and specifically in Walton County, which is the only place where they are, I think there's 17 of them here. Ours are unique amongst all those because ours open up periodically to the larger body of water, this being the Gulf of Mexico. So they're all fed by runoff rainwater, and they fill up to a certain point, and then there's a exit point along the beach where when the water rises above that berm, they burst open, and then they flow out to the Gulf. And then, depending on the tidal situation, Gulf water will flow in, so they'll kind of be brackish. And it's really unique. They occur within less than a mile of the coast, and surrounded by dunes and forest, and they're actually a really important stopover spot for migrating birds coming back across the Gulf, because there's maritime hammocks and stuff along the northern shores of these lakes that are very important feeding grounds, especially for songbirds, and also shorebirds and wading birds too. So it's very unique. You won't see them anywhere else in Florida. We have the lagoon down there. It's very similar to that, but it's just broken up into lakes, and
I had never heard of that before.
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
There's so many. The state of Florida and the Southeast in general, we have so many unique little spots that are kind of hidden that are gems, like the place Jeff's at, and you just don't know until you meet somebody who's spent a lot of time in that area. Because sometimes people that even live in these areas don't know about these spots. It's pretty awesome.
The area that you're doing the restoration on, is that from development? Is that from hurricanes? What caused this?
So the degradation of the wetlands it goes back a long time to fire suppression. So at some point back in the 1920s, late 20s, 30s, we decided that fire was bad and wanted to suppress it and keep it out of these wild areas. And then in particular areas where there was silviculture, where they were raising pine trees, they wanted to keep them out of there. The wetlands need fire. These landscapes up here need periodic fire on about a 2 to 4 year rotation. There needs to be a fire that runs through these areas to keep the grasses and everything nice and low, keep out woody trees that shade the ground. And so these areas have basically had about 80 or 90 years of fire suppression, and over time those woody trees up here, it's tai is the tree that really gets out of control. They get large and start shading out grasses and carnivorous plants and orchids and all the biologically diverse things that are under the ground or on the ground underneath them. And so uplands are a little bit easier to restore, because you can really kind of just use fire to restore those areas and bring them back into balance. But fire or wetlands are much more difficult to bring back into balance, because you do have houses around, high dollar houses around these state parks down here, and roads and hospitals and grocery stores and everything else that are around. So where you can put smoke for a prescribed fire starts to matter very greatly. And so you can't it's hard to bring those wetlands back into restoration. So what we do is we go in with machines and pull out the hardwoods. We break the hardwoods off and pull them out, and then return fire back into these wetlands. And it's been fantastically successful so far.
How long of a project is that set up to be?
We actually just got a 2-year extension, but we've been going since 2015, so that's almost 8 years so far.
Now, you may not have heard, but he was, in going through that whole thing, he said a specific phrase that I want to hear about. He said carnivorous plants. Okay? So he's talking about plants that eat things, eat meat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dude, you can't just say that and then go off like there's nothing else to talk about. You got to tell me about these plants that eat things.
Well, we have. You're ruining my trivia questions here.
Oh no! Sorry.
Hilarious.
Okay. That's all right. We have.
We'll see how much attention we're paying.
There's actually a bunch of carnivorous plants in Florida, and they all occur, I think, in wetlands.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got pitcher plants, which each different carnivorous plant has a different mechanism with which to catch its prey. Pitcher plants are pitfalls, basically. They attract insects to the top of the pitcher, which is just a modified leaf, and it kind of expands out, and there's enzymes that it releases in the bottom of the leaf. And insects fall in, there's a waxy surface or downward-facing hairs, and they can't get back out, and so they're digested in the bottom of those pitcher plants. One of the coolest, I think, not the most charismatic, because their flowers are really pretty, but otherwise you really wouldn't see them, are bladderworts, and they they have these little air sacs in their root system along the surface of the water or the surface of the wetland. And it's actually a mechanical trap. And there's negative air pressure in this sac, and there's a trigger just outside. And when something comes along and triggers it, it has the fastest reaction time of any plant in the animal kingdom. That trap springs open, sucks in whatever is immediately outside of it, and closes back up, and then it's digested in that little sac.
I am suddenly so angry that I have never seen or heard of these before. They sound amazing.
There's a ton of different species of those in Florida, from yellow to purple. They're pretty ubiquitous in our wetlands. I had neither until I started doing all this. It was all kind of mind-blowing to me.
What's your favorite discovery you've made so far? Is it pitcher plants and plants that eat things, or what's your favorite plant you've discovered so far in doing all this?
Oh geez, oh man, that's a tough
loaded
one,
question.
I give talks to like local groups and stuff, and kind of the end of my talk is I show pictures of different plants that we work with, and like I feel like I say like this is my favorite on every single one.
And yeah, for those that don't know, you are an incredible photographer as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Where can people go, before I jump away from that real quick? I'll let you finish what you were saying, but where can people go to see your pictures and the pictures you're taking the things you're taking pictures of? Man, everything's backwards on me today.
Hey, yeah.
Just combobulated.
Yeah, man.
On my Facebook, Jeff Talbert, or Jeff Talbert Photography on Instagram, either one.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Now we'll let you back to that question.
I think my favorite so far is kind of the plant that kicked off the idea for this project way back in 1996. It's been a long road to get to where it's at. Is the white fringed orchid, and it's this very beautiful ground orchid that we have up here that grows along these kind of slopes above creeks and in these wet prairies and stuff around here. And it's kind of tall, and it's I don't really know how to describe it. It's very, very beautiful. And it's pollinated by sphinx moss at dusk. Because it's white, it stands out against the dark, and it's just one of those things you have to see when there's like thousands of them blooming down a seepage slope along a creek. It's really beautiful. That's probably my favorite.
That was one of the most intricate descriptions of a plant
love it.
I think I've ever heard. It was awesome.
I can actually picture them. That is awesome.
It really was. That was a great description. So what do you think's next after this, buddy? You have an idea of something else, another project is going to be happening there on the same property, or are you looking ahead after this to another property, or what's the plan? Or have you thought that far ahead?
No, I think that far every day. When you work on a grant, there's a clear end date. You think about that all the time.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
I understand.
So, we just got an extension for 2 years, like last week. So I have a 2-year reprieve, but we're trying to go after more money to do this very same project over at Grayton Beach State Park, which has about 580 acres of wetlands to be restored. So we're going to try to go after grant to do that. Again, this is a partnership between Atlanta Botanical and the Florida State Park. So we're working together to try to get that money together so we can move over there. Because that's going to be about a 10-year project, and probably, I don't know, $11-12 million maybe total.
Okay.
If you know of anybody.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. So what have you found yourself? It's almost like you've lived two separate lives here. You know what I mean? You had your college and your football life, and now you have this whole other world you're in now, which I mean is truly a whole different atmosphere. What did you find yourself taking from that previous experience and using in what you're doing now?
Probably some leadership skills, also working together towards a goal. Since my job is I sort of bridge the gap between our side of the project, which is data collection, science, putting all that together. We have a team of scientists in Atlanta who do a host of things, and the operational on the ground stuff where we actually have guys working on the diesel engines and working the excavators and cutting the trees out and doing the prescribed burning and all that stuff. And so being able to bridge that gap, I sort of bring the team aspect, working towards a goal and bringing the two sides kind of closer together to achieve that.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's
it's two very different worlds.
I find it, we talk about this. We've talked about this a lot here recently. A lot of most successful people we have on here to chat with are either past coaches of some sorts, either it's being a life coach or a sport coach, or they have done a lot of different jobs throughout the profession they're already in. And you're another one of those examples where you took coaching and you brought it to the profession you're in now, which is a whole different world. But for some reason, it just, leadership is leadership, and the leadership skill. There's very few people that are born with it. Most people have to teach themselves that and get to that skill. But man, you've had it from the beginning.
Well, I appreciate that. I think actually when it sort of hit for me was actually right there in that school when I was chosen to go to J. Cal Brate Leadership Branch, and I go, maybe there's something here.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh yeah, that was we had Krista Miller on.
Yeah,
and she went to that ranch too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I remember when they first came to us here at THS and presented their program. We had a lot of sophomores. When you were a sophomore, you were selected to go there. It was pretty cool.
It was a really neat experience. I did not think I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into, but once I got there, it was, we went out to Colorado and got to spend a week in Colorado. It was amazing. And they give you all these leadership skills and help you sort of, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it helped me identify like some of the stuff that was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can build upon that or expound upon that. And I've just kind of kept that with me.
Do you find yourself back in Titusville very often?
Not too often. I came down for the Eco Fest. That was fun.
Yeah, it was awesome to see you there. Thank you for making a trip down for that.
Yeah, well, I needed a vacation, and what better way to spend it.
Yeah,
it was a good time, man. I was really happy to see it, and I really hope that it takes off and that it continues to grow. I love it.
For sure. Love it. Yeah, we just put the plans together this past week where we're going to be doing it again. It'll be November the 11th this year, which is actually Veterans Day weekend, but we'll be doing it. Mm-hmm. We'll be doing it same park, same place, a little bit differently. Like everything, you always think about things after the fact that you could do better. Maybe even better for less money, which is always good. Which we didn't spend that much money on that event. I think it was the whole thing cost us $7,000 to put together. So it's all blessings when it comes together, without a doubt. So I gave you a little bit of homework.
You did.
Yep. You want to hit us with some of your homework?
Sure. And this, as I told you earlier, it's space and plant related because those are two things that I love.
Space and plants. Okay. Jam up.
Yeah. All right. So the first one is, can you name the three projects that led us up to going? The three space projects that led us up to going to the moon in 1969.
Oh.
Apollo.
That's one.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one I know.
So Mercury was the first.
Okay.
Gemini was the second, and then Apollo.
Yep. Then Apollo.
All right. Perfect.
Wow. You guys killed that one.
So
good job.
You did. Nailed it. So in those three projects, 5 different rockets were used to launch men into space. Can you name them?
Saturn was one of them, right?
Well, the Saturn V was, yeah.
Yeah.
Saturn V was one, yep.
Atlas.
Yeah.
Atlas is one, yep.
Yep, Atlas was that put Shepard up, I think. And then they went to a bigger one.
The Titans weren't going then, I don't think.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Is it a Titan?
I think the Titans. You know what you can do? If you think about missile names.
Yeah.
Because they used the missiles to put astronauts up.
Well, it's funny because they're still launching Titans. Aren't they?
No.
Atlas.
No,
Atlas
the Titan program is shut down.
But it was just recently.
Past
5 years?
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer than that. But
okay.
the Atlas V is launching, but I think they've already launched the last one of those, and now they have the Vulcan. Is it the Vulcan? No. Yeah, that's it.
So if I'm being honest with you, we're very spoiled living here on the Space Coast with all the stuff in our backyard. And I'm out there on the Space Center all the time. I'm catching gators on those pads, under those rockets. And you always look at it and go, man, that's pretty cool. But then you realize, man, if I wasn't from here, that would be such a different level of awesome. We're very spoiled where we grew up.
You're not used to it.
Yeah, we're very, very spoiled where we grew up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, and you miss it when you're not there too. I get up early in the morning and stand on my back porch because I am blessed to live at 200 feet above sea level at my house.
Wow.
And I can see the rockets if they take a northeast path like the Starlinks. I can see the rockets from my house.
Whoa, how
Wow.
cool is
If
that?
the conditions are correct, but yes, I can see them from there. But
How-
it's
How far away are you from here? Is it a couple
I don't
hundred
know,
miles?
400 or 500 miles. Yeah,
400 or 500?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's almost to.
I know
Near-
he's up
near
near
Lake
Pensacola, yeah.
Mariana-ish?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm up by the interstate near Ponce de Leon, so I'm about, I think, 190 miles from Pensacola.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a hike.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a hike.
Yeah, it's usually like a minute and a half or so in, right before staging, but I can see them. That's good enough for me.
That's incredible.
Cool.
That's
That is-
incredible.
Okay, we didn't get all the
We got
rockets. we
Atlas,
missed some.
Saturn,
Yep.
Titan.
And
Yep.
then
It's
And there's 2 more. You said there was
Yeah.
5.
there's 5
what
total.
was it? The Centaur?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, that's not it.
Okay. Let me see. What am I missing? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Cindy, do you have any
And I've been
ideas?
to the Air and Space Museum.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure don't
I
know.
should know, but no, I don't
should
know.
Huh. Yeah, I have no idea.
There used to be one at the entrance to the Cape there on 405, right next to Space Camp. It's not there anymore.
I
don't
know
think.
what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Right across from the Titusville Police Hall of
Right.
Fame there, yeah.
Yeah.
But long before it existed.
Yep.
Wow. I can't.
Back when it was just Space Camp.
Yeah, back when it was just Space Camp. Man,
Yep.
I know what
I don't know.
I don't know. People are right now yelling at us, but
Yes,
yeah.
they are.
All right, so it's Redstone, Atlas, Titan, Saturn 1B, and then the Saturn 5.
Oh.
Okay.
What was the first one? Redstone?
The
The
Redstone.
Redstone.
That's
Yeah.
what Alan Shepard went up on. And if you ever saw
I
one
never
of
heard of it.
those,
Mm-mm.
it is so small.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
one that was at the gate. Was a Redstone.
Yeah, they're tiny little rockets.
At the
and you
gate of
thought-
THS? That's what we
no,
had out
no,
here?
no.
No.
We had a Titan out.
That's
in
what I
front
thought it
of
was. Okay, yeah.
But no, the Redstone was at the gate to the Space Center.
Okay, that's
which
what
was-
that was.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little pencil.
Yeah, and you
hilarious.
thought a guy climbed on
Could
top
you
of that
imagine?
and said, yeah,
On top, yeah, just strap,
just launch me.
strap me, yeah.
Just put a lawn chair up there and
To the moon.
just
Sunglasses.
I got to meet in my younger days. My mom worked at Space Camp National Hall of Fame, and it was run by the We7 Foundation. And I was fortunate enough to be able to tell Alan Shepard that in an elevator one day.
Oh wow, okay.
That's awesome.
You know, I was enamored with space, and we got in the elevator. Here it was. There was my hero, Alan Shepard. He was great. And I go, why did you climb up on that thing? Why did you do that?
Did he have a response?
I don't recall. I just remember the magic of being able to ask him.
That's really neat. All right, you got
ready for another one?
Yeah, give us one more.
Yep.
We got time for 2
Okay.
more. Yeah, we got time to finish it out. Yep.
Okay. Florida has 6 species of magnolia. 4 of them are listed as state endangered, and then one of those is an endemic to Florida. Can you name that magnolia?
Isn't it just called the Southern Magnolia?
That was not endangered.
Not it. Okay.
But that's one of them. No,
That is one of them.
yeah.
I don't know any magnolias. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
I feel like
don't-
I'm going to be real upset when he says it, and I'm going to be like, oh, I should have known that.
I am not as good with my plants as
No,
I should
I've
be.
always been terrible with plants.
Yeah, I'm
used
not
to take
not very good with my plants.
people back into the, and they'd go, "What's that plant?" And I'm, well, I don't know.
I get enthralled when I see a loblolly or something. So I mean,
Okay.
that's I have no idea what the magnolias are. Help
It's
us out.
it's Ash's magnolia is the endemic to the state of Florida. It only occurs in the state of Florida.
I don't think I even
It's-
know what that is.
It only occurs in
It's
Florida.
up here in the Panhandle, and it's a big leaf magnolia. The leaves are like the size of banana leaves. They're huge, and the
Wow,
flowers are
okay.
almost like they're as big as dinner plates.
What?
Bright white, purple splotch at the base of them. They occur in ravines up here, which weird. I know. Florida's got some
Ravines.
elevation here. But yeah, they're state listed as endangered. They only occur here, and I had no idea what they were either until I moved up to where I live now, and I found them on the property. I go, oh, okay.
That sounds beautiful.
There's a lot of magnolias here. Yeah,
Wow.
they smell great too.
I would say they have that real
Oh,
sweet
that's
smell to them,
awesome.
don't they?
They do. They do. It fills the woods. You can smell it. It's one of my favorite times in the spring.
Do you find those sweet smells attract a lot of critters? I mean, you get bats and things that go to them, or what?
I don't know if bats go to them. I mean, they're covered with beetles, but that's because magnolia flowers are a real ancient flower, and they evolved at a time when there were no flying insects to pollinate. So their flower parts are they're ancient. They're like 95 million years old, and so they're set up for beetles. So a lot of beetles inside of there.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I always think
Pretty neat.
I think of these sweet smelling things, and we have people have magnolia trees in their backyard and stuff down here, which you smell, of course. But on I guess it's the Indian River, the Banana River, out there on the Space Center side. There's these cactus that actually grow in the salt water that they bloom at nighttime, and they smell super. You ever seen these, Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
They smell super, super, super sweet. I mean, they almost like knocks you over sweet, just like a magnolia, and the bats are drawn to them. I mean, you'll see them just covered in bats. So I didn't know if that was just a sweet smelling thing that drew bats or what, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think since they're open at night, that's why. Like a magnolia flower will actually close up at night until it gets older. So like it opens in the morning and then closes up in the evening to trap those beetles inside. So it's actually a way to prevent self-pollination. Plants are so weird, man.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, hit us with another one, buddy.
All right, one more, because you guys, we already went over the carnivorous plant, but here's another one for you. What is the most endangered tree in the state of Florida?
Most endangered tree.
And it occurs only up here in the Panhandle in a very narrow range along the Apalachicola River.
As I was jokingly saying Brazilian pepper, just because I was laughing inside of myself really, really hard. That's the dead opposite of that situation.
Yes.
the other end of the spectrum. I have no clue.
I'm going to be so upset when he says it because I know in the back of my head, I know this from one time I was camping up there, but I literally cannot remember.
See, I've never spent a lot of time up there.
There's a state park named after it.
Oh.
Yeah, I
feel like you're almost there.
I'm so upset.
I have no idea. Do you have any idea, Bill?
No, I don't.
Okay, hit us with it, buddy.
It's the Terrier tree.
Terrier. Did you know that, Cindy?
That's why I couldn't remember it, because it's not a word you ever hear. So it's not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So tell us about those.
They are very rare because they only occur in the ravines along the Apalachicola River, and it's a relic of the Ice Age, and so it's kind of like the last sort of species, in the southern Appalachian region that's still kind of hanging on down there.
So they monstrously huge or what?
Actually, they can get pretty big. However, there's actually oh man, I'm not gonna be able to think of the name. There's like a pathogen that gets in the tree and stunts its growth, and so they won't get any bigger, and then the tops end up dying out. So they're in this perpetual state of shortness. They don't produce cones anymore. And so some of the work that we're doing with the state park in Atlanta Botanical, a separate team from mine, from up in Atlanta, are working to identify that pathogen and how to basically restore them.
Wow.
In place.
I learn something every time we do one of these podcasts, and I think this has been one of the more informative ones we've had in quite a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was awesome. Buddy, thank you so much for joining us. This was great. This was great. So people want to go learn more about the Atlanta Botanical Garden. Where can they find out information about that?
You can go to atlantabg.org on the website, or there's the Atlanta Botanical Gardens on Instagram and Facebook, and then the conservation department is at Atlanta BG Conservation on Instagram, and that's where you can find out about all the cool work that we're doing in the conservation department. Okay, and if people want to find you, can you tell us one more time? It is Jeff Talbert on Facebook, or at Jeff Talbert Photography on Instagram. Yeah, you don't want to miss that. Some of the pictures Jeff takes is they're stunning. Yeah, I think I take some cool pictures and I look at his stuff and go, yeah, I'm a joke. Yeah, I'm officially a joke. Yes, my alligator snake looked cool, but those plants are a different level. It's all worthwhile. It's all joke. Worthwhile. Yep. It's all spreading the word, man. All spreading the word. What it's all about, buddy. Super appreciate you being on here, Jeff. Thank you for the time, and sure hope to see you soon, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, bub. Catch up with you soon.
Okay.
All right, guys. Another podcast in the book.
Yes, sir.
Anything exciting going on this coming week or two? We got Cindy's thing. That's next weekend.
Yep.
Yep. All these people that do trivia for a living, we're going to put them to shame. As long as they're not asking us questions like Jeff just did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Although I will remember that.
Yep.
Do you find yourself going back and watching these do you ever watch them after we put them up?
No, I don't.
Cindy, you ever watch them after we put them up?
No, I hate hearing myself.
People
that know me are still like, I can't believe you are doing a podcast.
You've never watched a single one of these after we put it up?
That's false. I tried to start watching one and went, nope, can't do it. And then I cannot hear myself.
What about it bothers you?
Everything, Frank. How much time do you have?
She does.
We all have our things. Yeah. I mean, me and Bill say it a lot. We all have our expertise and stuff, which is what makes this whole thing work really good, and our interesting backgrounds. And Cindy, you're a big piece of glue that holds this whole thing together.
Do you want to know why you don't like your voice?
Why?
I'll tell you. Because it's because of sound frequency and the way that sound frequency works. Low sound frequencies radiate out. Okay? High frequencies travel in a straight line from the source, and they don't go around objects. So you never hear your voice. The voice that comes out of your mouth, the high qualities of it all go in a straight line, and they never come back to your ears. What you hear is the bass qualities of your voice that radiate through your head. So when you hear your voice recorded, everybody thinks, that's way too high. That's not how I sound. And it's true. It's not how you sound in your head. But it is how you sound. And I don't know if understanding it will help you, but that's the reason.
It won't, because it's more so the things I say.
Oh,
I'm like, why would I say that? Why did I say that?
Oh, no.
When you say things, you say things that are on point.
Yeah.
Listen to the guy over here that couldn't say botanical garden without screwing it up.
Right.
I am just the most introverted person that has ever lived. That's why people are like, I can't believe you are every week.
Do you have friends that watch the show?
Yes.
I have never, ever said, why did Cindy say that? I've never thought that.
I'm sure you thought that about me, though.
Yeah. Oh, there's something we talked about before the show that I was like, why'd Frank say that?
But again, I'm not having to overthink things and worry about saying things that are inappropriate. I say things that I'm used to saying that I don't know that are inappropriate.
Right.
It's not ignorance.
Nobody will tell you.
Yeah. It's not ignorance.
I will.
Yeah, that's true. Well, as soon as you start laughing, I know it's inappropriate. But
right.
I say things that just grew up saying that they're completely harmless, and then you go, oh, okay.
Frank, that's not what a bird's beak is called.
Yes. But yeah, well, it is what it is. All right. I think that's a good note to end on.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Let's end on the high note.
All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Miss Edna for your sponsorship. And guys, hope you all have a wonderful day and a great afternoon. Bye-bye.